Hello guys, this is Hallie here with our first ever macro member highlight with Greg Wilson.
Hi.
This is Greg. He's been on our program for like ever, I think, since the beginning.
Pretty close.
Yeah.
Pretty close, yeah. So started in January of 2017.
Of 2017, yeah.
I just posted a picture this morning on Macroholics. A picture came up in my Facebook feed of me just after I started the program.
Yeah.
And so I, anticipating being here, I wanted to put a before picture for people to look at.
Yeah.
And I don't know where any of those clothes I'm wearing are anymore.
You're like, where did they go? They just evaporated along with your weight.
Yeah.
You lost them with your weight.
One of the many phases of cleaning my closet.
That's right.
Yeah,
that's right. That's good though. When you can solidly give away clothes because you know you're gonna keep the weight off forever. That's a good feeling.
Or what I experienced and what I hear a lot of other people talking about on the Facebook page is they have been saving a piece of clothing in their closet, thinking someday I'm going to be able to wear that, and then they find it and they try it on and it's too big.
You missed your window. You missed your window. Yeah. I know. That's the best. Okay, so this is kind of a different format. Usually I'm pretty just like chill and we just talk, but because this is a highlight, I'm going to go through these questions that I'm going to go through with every member highlight that we do. So the first one I want to know is your story of how you found Macroholics.
How did I find it? Well, so I had maybe for a few months been working out at CrossFit Lubbock.
Yes.
Had my wife and her best friend were training with Nick Hanley was one of the personal trainers there at the time.
Shout out to Nick if he's listening. He's in Austin now.
And fantastic.
Yes, he is. He's
fantastic
amazing.
in all sorts of ways.
Yes.
But they were just really excited about CrossFit and the experience they're having there. And so I started training there with Nick and my wife Rachel and our friend Kelly, and pretty soon, and I was carrying around 50 extra pounds trying to be a CrossFitter, the program was starting, I had an opportunity to join, and it was just exactly the right moment.
So did you just know David through CrossFit Lubbock meeting him and where you're training and stuff like that? Cool. Yeah, I knew you're one of our early birds. Like on our list, on our master sheet, we have, it's in chronological order basically. So I have, like 4 or 5 people that are at the very, very top, and you're one of them.
Burgundy's pretty early.
Yeah, Burgundy was after you, actually, I think Burgundy, but she was a $50 client, but she also got moved down to like the employees section, so I don't know where she would fall in there. But we have like Dustin Gibson is way up there, Lizzie Kaufman, things like that, people that have been on the program forever. So, okay, so tell me, like you were talking about your before and after picture, your highest weight, your lowest weight, and then where you've maintained and how you feel about that.
So I think right before I think my highest weight ever was about 230.
Okay.
And I had been using MyFitnessPal before. Like kind of going on and off because
just like calories or
tracking calories and that MyFitnessPal will give you a guess at what your calories and your target should be.
Like that.
But without the community, without a plan, after a while it just got tedious to do, and so I would get excited about it for a few months and then not track anything for a few months, and so I have an earlier weight somewhere stuck in Macroholics that's at like 230, 235, something like that. I think I was at 215 when I started. When
you signed up for Macroholics.
And if you go somewhere around, there's a before and after split screen of me on New Year's Day 2016, or I guess 2017. And I'm standing and I'm in this kind of plaid brown shirt.
I remember that.
I look so miserable. And for me, it's always the pictures of myself. When I see the pictures of myself, and I say, I just don't want to go through the world looking like that to other people.
Right.
So that was 215, and so starting through Macroholics, I was, and a lot of people, if they see this, when they track their weight, their
an EKG.
Their graph kind of looks like this sawtooth thing, but as long as it's heading in
right, general direction, yes.
So all the way into the fall, I had that downward thing, and I was losing. If I was losing a pound a week, and that's you all were helping me make sure that I wasn't doing anything stupid fasting.
Yeah.
But a pound a week, maybe 5 poundish is a month. Was my
general trend.
Was my general trend. And I thought when I started, my goal weight was 185.
Okay.
And I thought, well, I'll never get to that. That's impossible.
Right,
so,
right.
Sure, 185. And when I got to 185, it's like, I can do better than that.
Yeah.
And so talked with you all and figured out that the height weight charts, about 165 or lower would be
right in that health range.
Would be right where I should be. And so worked into the fall to get to that.
Okay.
And then went on maintenance.
Okay.
And it's been a crappy year since then. When you go on maintenance, it's a completely different head game.
Right, absolutely, yeah.
So
trying not to see the scale go down as much, and working towards that goal.
And to boldly stay where nobody has stayed before.
Yes.
It's a challenge.
Absolutely.
And so was trying to maintain at 165, and then I found myself floating up a few pounds, and then so it's like, well, maybe this is my body telling me that that's kind of where the equilibrium is. And then I've gone up another 5 pounds since then over the last year, because it's just been a really stressful year for a lot of reasons. And now I'm back on the weight loss macros, working my way back down. And so it's been a journey of trying to see where my body wants to be above that, and how I feel about it. And
are you still doing CrossFit? Is that what you've stuck with? You've enjoyed that?
Well, and I wind up doing, I do CrossFit 3 days a week. I train with Kristen 3 mornings a week. And I really love that. I have been an exerciser all my adult life. And have been in the gym somewhere doing something 3 times a week at least all my adult life. But without the nutrition piece that Macroholic provides, it just would never do anything for me. When
just make you hungrier.
Well, and I had all these bizarre stories in my head. Well, I'm going to the gym. I need to eat something before I go to the gym. Well, I just got back from the gym. Well, I need that.
I need to eat something. I got home from the gym.
And so all these stupid scripts in my head about my relationship to food, and so Macroholics has helped me sort that out.
Yes, absolutely.
But I train. I do 3 days a week of Macroholics. Often I do 1 or 2 days of yoga or yoga things, and I try to.
I see pictures of you and your wife. You do the aerial yoga, or what is it called?
Acro yoga.
Acro yoga, yes.
I've taken an acro yoga class at the Weldon, or the student fitness center.
Because you're a professor at Tech.
Right.
Yes.
And so that's kind of a partner thing where you're lifting your partner up in the air.
Yeah, it's so fun. I love it. I love seeing those pictures. It's so fun. I love it.
We only take pictures of the times when we aren't.
The times where it's good.
Anyway, so I do other things in addition to
CrossFit. But you do enjoy CrossFit a lot.
I do, but I'm turning 52 in a couple of weeks, and it's just a lot.
It is a lot.
Stress, and so I couldn't do it every day. Some people do it every day.
Yes.
For me, I need to supplement with some recovery things and some
less impact,
some support, strength building.
Right. I think that's great. I love it. Okay, so next is, what was the most challenging part of your journey? I think you may have touched on that with maintenance, but
so maintenance has been challenging, and like I said, it's a completely different head game. So you have to figure out, well, what does it mean? I'm across the finish line, so what do I do now? And so does it mean that I can relax on some things? And so you experiment with that, and you figure out that's a bad idea. Well, okay, can I not log some things? Can I be more relaxed about that? It's like, no, the scale goes back up. So
you have this dedication to this thing that you're not really actively pursuing goal for.
Well, so the maintaining weight goal just turns out to be a different goal.
Absolutely.
And you may feel like when you hit maintenance, well, I don't have to track things as rigorously as I
Right.
before. But the point of going on maintenance is to slowly figure out what that equilibrium set of calories is
Right.
for you to maintain,
Right.
and not for you to be
more loosely
eating stupid stuff, or having more days where you say, well, I'm just gonna not count today.
Right. The relaxation
Yeah.
is that's really interesting. I mean, that's a perspective that we don't see as much of, you know what I mean? Like, most of our clients are here to lose weight, and so that's something that I think is really valid and important that people talk about, that shift in maintenance.
But with the, if I have put on 10 pounds
Right.
over the course of the year, and now I'm taking that back off, that's not a bad thing.
No, not at all.
Being at 175 as opposed to 165, I still feel fantastic.
Good.
And so,
Well, and the freedom to know that, like, if I do gain, if I do go up, like, I know exactly how I'm going to get it down, and I know, the path I'll take. And
well, and I have the support of the plan to help me to know what to have that healthy relationship with food.
Absolutely.
Before I was on Macroholics, I thought, I've got my brown rice, and I've got my steamed vegetables, and I've got my lean protein, and I'm going to sit here and eat all of it.
Right.
And so too much of the healthy food. So
Absolutely.
was
the
my
thing.
problem.
And that is the greatest tragedy in the world, is that you can eat too much grilled chicken and gain weight.
Yeah, so having the Macroholics as the baseline to help me know you can't get too far off this line.
Absolutely.
Has been great.
Absolutely. Okay, so tell me a time that you feel proud of your Macroholics journey.
So many things.
Yeah.
I like how it changed what I could do in the gym.
Okay.
I liked. Yoga is one thing. When I had all of this extra weight between me and my toes,
Right.
Even bending over to do a forward fold or to touch my toes,
Right.
Having that gone has just really changed my yoga practice. But I have been able to do things in the CrossFit gym that were like so scary.
Right.
I'm pretty good at the rope climbs now, and that was something that if you're hauling 50 extra pounds,
Absolutely, yeah.
rope, it's just not going to work out for you.
Absolutely.
So just being in a situation where CrossFit can do the things that it's supposed to be doing for me, which is giving me those surprises, showing me that progress.
Right. A lot of strength building and stuff like that. That's really cool. I love that. So, okay, this would be an easy question for me, but it may not be for everybody. You're the first one. So, what is your most eaten Macroholics meal?
My most eaten Macroholics meal.
Yes.
I am very repetitive with my food.
Okay, good. Same.
And I don't do a lot of fancy recipes.
Okay.
I tend to cook things or open things and then combine them on the plate. After I weigh them. It was grilled chicken breasts were very important for me in weight loss to have around in the refrigerator, and I would just add
that to whatever.
That was kind of the core, and it would I'd just grill a big package of chicken breasts at the beginning of the week and eat them and then grill more and all of that.
Right.
But for me, that was a very dense, filling protein that didn't have a lot of calories, a lot of fat to it. So
easy to make work and
and could plug it in. I could make a sandwich out of it. I could grill vegetables with it and do a stir fry. And so it was just a very versatile sort of thing.
Grilled chicken.
But I have a protein powder that I like a lot too. That I just mix with ice and water. And so that's 20 grams of protein with 110 calories.
Yeah.
It's very simple. I don't put a lot of doodads in it.
Right.
And,
I too do not do that in my protein shakes. I like to keep it simple. Okay, so what is the best piece of advice you received about Macroholics?
I reposted something that I had reposted on Macroholics. Anyway, it's something that I keep coming back to, and it's an early blog post.
Oh yeah, I remember when you shared that.
David made about if you count up all the birthdays and all the weekends and all the holidays and all the special events you're going to have.
Right.
There's a small sliver of days in your year that you could say are normal days.
Absolutely.
And so if you're one of those people like me that's going to go through their day and saying, oh, there are donuts today.
Right.
I'm just going to have a donut. Oh, it's Sue's birthday today. I've got to have a piece of cake.
Right.
That you have to have a plan that doesn't just get you through the normal days.
Right.
That gives you a place to say, I'm not doing the cake, not doing the donuts. I'm going to the party, and I'm going to do what makes sense to me and not feel like I have to.
Absolutely.
And potlucks are just really hard for me.
Absolutely.
All of that food and all of that stimulation.
Yes.
So I have to go in with a plan and be very careful.
That's good.
I read something once which kind of grows off of that, which when we're thinking about personal habits, if we say I don't as opposed to I can't,
right?
People who say I don't are much more successful. So as a macroholic saying I don't eat donuts, not like I can't eat donuts.
Right, absolutely.
But that's kind of one of my strategies for dealing with those non-normal days.
Right, absolutely. I love that. I'm big on words, and I think that there's a lot of power in what we say and how that manifests in our, daily lives. And I think, like David talks a lot about, like if you say like, I've got to go to work tomorrow, instead of saying like, I get to go to work. Yeah. Like that's that's just right there is such a shift, and that's just one simple word change. So absolutely. I really love that. Okay, so now the fun ones. Enough about Macroholics. What is your favorite book?
My favorite book. I am favorite book.
We should preface this by saying that Greg is a college professor and probably reads a lot of books, and this is probably a loaded question.
And an English professor at that. So
exactly, yes, absolutely.
So I have all sorts of books. I'm really fond of the author John Irving.
Okay.
And so for a long time, I would say that my favorite book was The World According to Garp, which is something that he wrote really early. But I tried to go back and read it recently, and I couldn't. It was just awful. But I'm real excited about every couple of years when he has a new book that comes out.
Interesting, really cool. I love that.
That I get a chance to read. I'm really interested in this.
See, that's a fellow book lover. Like, I get it. Like, that's such a loaded question. Like, that's like David, like, if asking David what his favorite movie is like impossible, because that's like his, and little like spoiler alert, that's our next question, start thinking. Yeah, David loves like movies so much, so asking him his favorite movie is like this loaded question. For me it's like simple, because I'm not as much of a movie person as I am a book person, but that book question would be really hard for me. Yeah. So I have grace for that. So next, what is your favorite movie?
Favorite movie. So when you said that, what immediately came to mind is my wife and I have a couple of things in our Netflix that we've bought on Netflix.
Right.
That if we're up at 2 o'clock in the morning, we can't get back to sleep, we just turn on. And so for me, right now it's the movie The Royal Tenenbaums, which is a Wes Anderson film, which is just weird in a lot of ways that I like. My wife has a movie called The Edge about a bear attack in the wilderness.
Ooh.
It's just fascinating.
That sounds very fascinating. I'll find that one. Sounds good. I'm a fan. Okay, so this is a weird question. It's a very Hallie question. But who is your favorite person?
My favorite person?
Yes.
Is that like a historical figure?
It's just like point blank. And you can't say Jesus because that's what everyone would say. So you have to say something else. You have to say who your favorite person.
Well, my wife, I'm really fond of my wife. She's spectacular. And she's
a cutie pie.
She's a cutie pie, and she's one of the bravest people that I know. So I
would love that. That's what a good compliment for someone to call you brave. That's good. I like that. Okay, so tell me something unique or exciting about your future, your past, or just yourself.
Unique or exciting?
Yes.
About my future.
Past, future, something about yourself. Do you think like a big trip coming up? Do you have like anything like that? Big career changes? Anything like that?
Not sure about that.
Okay.
So just something. I make quilts.
You make quilts?
I make quilts.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing! I love that.
I don't really make like bedspread quilts.
Okay.
More kind of wall hanging.
Okay, like tapestry kind of vibes.
Wall hanging sort of.
Cool.
So if you're ever in my house, there are things.
That is so
office,
fun. I love. That's exactly what I wanted out of this. Like, who would have known that Greg Wilson makes quilts? Like, I don't know, but now we do. So that makes me happy. Okay, well that is all of our questions. Anything you would like to add?
Yeah, I brought one note because
Okay.
something I was, and this is a geeky professor thing. I apologize for it.
Geek all the way.
But I was reading something a couple of weeks ago, and it made me think of Macroholics. That I was reading this kind of geeky professional article, and it was talking about 3 different ways that we might understand our bodies.
Okay.
And so one way it called the object bodies. So and that's ways in which our body is measured. So when we stand on the scale, we get a number. We go to the doctor, we get blood pressure or pulse or cholesterol numbers or blood sugar numbers. And so there's the object body is how the body is measured to the outside world. And maybe our before and after photos, something like that.
Okay.
And then it talks, then this article is talking about the subject body, which is our experience of our own bodies.
Okay.
And so maybe we like the way our clothes fit, or we don't, or we talk to ourselves about our own body image or things like that.
Okay.
It's hard to do something about that first category, the object body. You're not going to get a better number on the scale by practicing how to stand on the scale.
By thinking differently. Yes, absolutely.
You can do things with about how we talk to ourselves about our body. But this third category that it was talking about is the body that we do.
Okay.
And for me, that immediately made me think of Macroholics because in terms of diet and exercise, we can change those other 2 categories.
Absolutely.
And so the things that we get up and decide we're going to act on,
right.
I'm going to eat in a certain way, or I'm going to get more exercise, or I'm going to try to accomplish these physical things.
Right.
That can help both in those numbers that we see, those before and after pictures of the object body, and it can help us feel differently about our body.
Absolutely.
And learn to talk and think about our body image in useful ways. But so Macroholics is kind of that lever, or a set of levers that we have in that body that we do category that helps us change things.
Those things.
Change the way that we feel and the way that we're perceived.
Absolutely, I love that. That's some good advice. And I think it's something to consider as far as Macroholics goes, because I think so many people look at it, especially with the like prevalence of multi-level marketing and things like that, that like our intention is just to like help you lose weight, like lose the fat, like, you know, get a better body or whatever. And it's so much more than that.
Yeah.
And it's so much deeper than that. And there's so much more transformation that happens inward rather than just outward.
Right.
And I think that that's something that like, that's my favorite thing about Macroholics. You know what I mean? Is that like the people that have worked the program from start to finish, that have worked through, you know, horrible things and good things, and you know, walked paths that have been rocky and they've come out on top. They are so much more than just a person that lost 50 pounds. You know what I mean? They are a completely transformed person. And so that's a perfect ending to our podcast, because I just think that is as perfect example of who you are and the things that you've gone through with our program and the things that you've come out on top with. And I'm so thankful that you're part of us and that you are here with us today.
Well, thanks.
Thank you. See you guys next time.
Take care.
Bye.